Washington, D.C.'s Mar-a-Lago. That's what the White House is turning into. The east wing of the White House, demolished. The Rose Garden, paved over. Now it's a Rose Garden Club. It's a lunch venue with tables and umbrellas and gold-lettered signage that architecture critics have described that look more like a storefront than a space with over 200 years of American history. A $400 million ballroom is going up. A ceremonial arch modeled after the Arc de Triomphe is planned for Arlington. And over the weekend, the Washington Post has reported that Donald Trump's appointed chair of the Commission of Fine Arts wants to tear out the iconic columns that have framed the White House's front entrance for nearly 200 years and replace them with Corinthian columns, because Corinthian, per this appointee, is, quote, the highest order. This man, by the way, Rodney Mims Cook Jr., a Trump appointee, who now chairs the Federal Arts Panel. They're responsible for advising the president on all of his design matters, and obviously he's a man with great taste. His reasoning, offered to the Washington Post, with a straight face, he says, Corinthian is the highest order of column, and that's what our other two branches of government have. Why the White House didn't originally use them, at least on the north front, which is considered the front door, is beyond me. The reason, Rodney, is that the White House was designed in 1792 to evoke dignity, not the height of institutional formality. These are Ionic columns. They've been there since 1830. It was the designer's final touch on the building, and they have stood through every president, from Andrew Jackson to Joe Biden. Trump just wants something ornate, something fancier. Architects are now being asked to react and responding accordingly. Quote, completely inappropriate and at odds with universally held historic preservation standards. That's what a Biden appointee to the same commission said. It's like surgically adding or removing a couple of inches to one of your legs and thinking that you could still walk. It becomes a very different animal, and it becomes a completely absurd animal. That's a Notre Dame architecture professor that spent 40 years studying classical architecture. Baffled or even horrified is how the Washington Post summarizes the field general's response. And a White House spokesperson says to the Post, there are, quote, no plans to change the existing columns, and that Cook hasn't even discussed this with Trump yet. Trump has confirmed that he hasn't said it to Trump. He's just proposing it because he chairs the commission. And that's what this whole regime does. They just propose things. They just float things. And it never formally happens until they've torn down the entire East Wing. That's how things work in the People's House. It's currently operating as a personal renovation project funded by Apple and Amazon. It's a slush fund. Google, Meta, Coinbase, Lockheed Martin, all these people that are vying for government contracts that donated to the ballroom, Trump has leaned on them, they donate, then they get what they want. And all of this is happening. All of this. Donald Trump talking about columns at the White House and marble armrests at the Kennedy Center. Gas is up to $3.56 a gallon and climbing towards $4. Your grocery prices are up. Rent, up. Egg prices. It's a national news story. The housing market. No one in this entire generation can afford to live in the housing market. Credit card debt, record highs. Medical debt, the leading cause of personal bankruptcy in the wealthiest country on earth. And yet the White House is begging for $50 billion more for the Iranian war. Money to pay for the bombs and the troops and the ships that are currently deployed. And we can't do anything with it. All because Donald Trump is blocking bills over the SAVE Act. The Farm Bill, stalled. Housing Bill, stalled. Veterans care funding, stalled. None of it's a priority. What is a priority? The White House ballroom, a $400 million ballroom. White House columns. That's Donald Trump's priority. And by the way, none of this sounds like the type of guy who intends to move out when his term is up. All these renovations, there's no way they're going to be done by the time Donald Trump's term is up. This is supposed to be the people's house. Right now, it's looking more like Trump's house. and a Trump legacy house. You know, we've got the columns, we've got the gold-lettered Rose Garden signage, all the gold in the Oval Office, the presidential walk of fame, the tackiest thing I've ever seen, with the pictures of former presidents. That's a priority. Donald Trump trying to build a new Arc de Triomphe in Arlington. That's a priority. But not your gas prices, not your rent, none of it. Hell, the Iranian war is not his priority. The columns and the ballroom are. That's not a man who's intending to move out of the White House when his term is up. Doesn't it seem like our feeds are getting filled with more and more BS right-wing MAGA content? It's no secret that all these top tech bros are in love with the current regime, so it's no surprise that independent left-leaning media is being squashed by the algorithm. If you like our content and content like us, it doesn't take long to click that thumbs up, share, comment, or subscribe. So please help us keep the truth alive.